Hey, it's the SavaniSis again, back for another video. Today we're going to talk about why you even have irrational fears. Some of these fears you have that you don't even know, and they are irrational. We'll see you in a few. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so today we want to talk about why you may have irrational fears. What are they? Where do they come from? Why do we have them? And how can we get rid of them? So let's start with what are irrational fears. The best way for me to explain it is if I give you a couple of examples of what irrational fears are. First example, you're a woman walking with a group of friends out on the street. You wore one of your high heels. You have plenty of other high heels in the house in your walk-in wardrobe, but you decided to wear a particular pair of heels with the dress you were wearing for the night. All of a sudden, while you're walking on the street, snap, the heel breaks off. You go berserk. You react like crazy. Oh my God, my heel just broke. How could this happen? You go hysterical. You start bursting out in tears.
What am I gonna do? Where am I gonna find shoes like this again?
Exactly. Even though you have 50 other pairs of heels in the house and this heel can easily be fixed. It's not a big deal. But to you, it's a huge deal. You're crying. You're going in hysterics. Your friends around you are saying, what's wrong? What happened? What happened? Oh, your heel broke. Oh, and they kind of invalidate your feelings. But you are feeling awful. You're feeling terrible. You broke your heel. It's an irrational trigger. We can all agree that this is an overreaction and not necessary in the grand scheme of things. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? It always traces back to a past behavior. So this is an energetic vibrational pattern that carries on throughout the years, and it layers and layers and layers. Why? Because your feelings are suppressed. You don't let it come out. Now the thing is, when you had the irrational fear about the heel breaking and your friends around you then said, why are you reacting this way? You're making a mountain out of a molehill. They invalidate your feelings, and now you all of a sudden suppress your feelings because you realize that, wow, they don't understand how terrible this is. They don't feel my pain. They don't feel my hurt. So they invalidate you. Now this has now caused another layer of suppression. So now when you want to go to your friend and you want to share something with them, or you feel a trigger coming on, you realize, I can't say what I want to say because I remember the last time they shut me down. The last time they didn't understand my feelings. So if I was to express my feelings to them again, I will get that same shutdown. So automatically we withdraw, we suppress, and now that's another layer added to the mix. Now you have a negative charge towards the people around you that reacted negatively to you the last time because they've invalidated your feelings. So this is what carries on. You keep layering up. So now you have all these
layers upon layers of suppressed emotions.
Exactly.
Over the years.
Yes.
And sometimes you're not even aware that you've suppressed that emotion until you get triggered sometime in the future over some particular event or situation. And if you don't question it, why was I triggered? Where did this come from? It's actually not the event.
Not the present day problem.
That the trigger stems from something that you suppressed in the past, and it's a memorized emotion that's stored in your body, in your subconscious, and that comes out when something happens in your life. So it explains sometimes when two people are experiencing the same event, why can it affect them differently? Like the Viktor Frankl book,
concentration camp example
where there was two men in concentration camps. Both had the same horrific events and experiences that happened to them. One ended up completely with severe mental health issues and couldn't function, and the other one became successful, wrote a book and said how he overcame his environment. And so they both experienced the same thing, but they reacted differently to it. They interpreted, they experienced it differently.
They responded different to their experience. They had a different response, and that is what shaped their life moving forward.
And so that's where the irrational fears and irrational reactions, rather than calling them irrational, sometimes they're not irrational to you. To you they're real. So the reactions that happen, the way we respond to certain situations, is something that's keyed in from the past.
That's it.
And the same goes with anxiety. Sometimes people with anxiety disorders feel anxiety for no apparent reason at all. The body's reacting as if they're standing next to a lion or some predator that's about to eat them. But they know very well that there's nothing scary in their outside environment, no immediate danger, but their body's reacting in that way. So what's happening is it's a subconscious program that's been keyed in. So you're not consciously aware of it, it's just been keyed in, and it's triggering
a fight or flight response.
A fight or flight response, yeah.
Survival emotion.
Yeah, and so that's why it can become very confusing. You ask yourself, why am I feeling this way when there's no reason for me to feel this way? What's happening inside of me? It could end up bringing up a lot of confusion in the way that you are being, and this is all behaving, and this is all from the past.
All keyed in from the past, so we know what irrational fears are, why you have certain irrational fears, and you react in ways with certain things that trigger you, because it's keying in from the past. Now, what is the technique to help peel back the layers of the onion, so to speak, and get rid of, permanently blast out those irrational fears? Meenal, take it away.
So some of you might have heard of something called EFT, which is the emotional freedom technique. It actually stems from TFT, which is thought field therapy, developed by Dr. Roger Callahan. Thought field therapy requires more expertise in order to actually perform this technique, whereas EFT, it does require expertise and knowledge, but however, it is also easy for you to do at home as well. And so it's an easier version of TFT.
Yes.
So EFT is simply you're tapping on particular points on your body, which are specific energy meridian points, which help to blast out stuck energy. And remember, if you've got any stuck emotion inside of your body, emotion is energy in motion. It is energy that's in there and it's circulating inside your body and it's stuck in there, and you might not even know it's there until it comes out. So think about it this way: when you are just doing something at home, normal routine, and then suddenly you think about a person in the past that really pissed you off and got you really mad. And all of a sudden you're feeling all these angry emotions, you're feeling very tense, and you remember what they said, and then you're thinking about all the things that you could have said to them. That means you've got stuck energy in the body. You have not let go of that situation. So what it is it's a memory with an emotional charge still attached to it. So you're energetically bonded to that person in some way, because that person is still triggering a response. So when you have a memory of a past event but no emotional charge to it, so it's an unpleasant memory, but you just look at it objectively, you're just observing it, but no emotional charge, that is
called wisdom.
So this is what you want to do. EFT is not erasing memories. All it's doing is blasting out the stuck energy, the stuck emotional charge,
that was a trapped energy
that was attached to that event. That's what it's doing.
Right.
So you tap on specific meridian points. Now, I just want to say now, I'm not an EFT practitioner.
Or EFT expert.
Or EFT expert. So don't listen to every single thing that I say with regards to the EFT technique. If you want expertise, proper advice, then look on YouTube. There's lots of EFT videos and EFT practitioners that actually teach this. So I'm just going to go through it very, very briefly. But the points are here, near the end of the eyebrow, on the side of your eye, underneath the eye, underneath the nose, at the little dent of your chin over here, just a little bit underneath the collarbone, tiny bit under there, and then just underneath the arm, and then up here. Now you keep doing these rounds as you're saying specific statements about the way that you're feeling. Now, the only way it's going to be most effective is actually if the emotion is very intense. So you have to have an intense emotion of that event that comes up. And as you feel that intensity of it, that's when you want to tap it out. So you want to actually bring up that negative emotion so that you can clear it. You're not going to tap out anything if you're just feeling really happy and feeling good. There's nothing to tap out at that moment. So you've got to bring out those emotions that have been stored in there, suppressed and trapped. And that will help to blast out
permanently those negative patterns of negative trapped energy, and you will start feeling lighter. You will be peeling back the layers of the onion of suppressed trapped energy the more you do these EFT techniques and rounds.
And you'll no longer be triggered. So that's a difference you'll notice in yourself, that that person that's always triggered you going into work, all of a sudden they no longer trigger you.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
How freeing is that?
That's so freeing, because you're no longer feeling that negative emotion inside of you. You're just like, oh, well, okay.
It doesn't push my buttons anymore. It doesn't piss me off anymore.
Yeah. And then you'll even question, but he should piss me off, but why am I not feeling anything?
Yes.
Oh,
what a
that's
phenomena.
Good. Even better if you start laughing at it. Just imagine if you start laughing at all the horrible situations in your life and you take it very lightly, and inside you feel happy. Then that means you're not controlled by the outside environment. You have complete control of how you feel inside. And it's so freeing, because you live a more happier life. You're more likely to go forward in life and take risks and do things that you never thought you would do. Now, EFT is a consistent practice. It's something that you do on a regular basis. You know, some people go to an EFT practitioner when they've got a particular problem, but I would say do EFT in your day-to-day living. When something comes up and you're keyed in with unpleasant emotion, that's when you want to tap, because you want to tap it out. You don't want to actually whenever you feel bad,
you should be
basically whenever you feel bad. Simple rule. That's it. Now, the other thing that you can also do, one more thing, is that the reason why we have all these suppressed emotions is because we haven't allowed ourselves to embrace it and feel the emotion. Now, remember, we are divine beings, but we're also in this physical body. So we're gonna, with a mind, with an ego, so we're all gonna experience all sorts of emotions, from joy, gratitude, to something as bad as apathy or despair for some people. But you know, you'll have everything else in between as well. So when you have an unpleasant emotion, the first thing is it doesn't feel good in your body. So one of those things is that you do want to suppress it. You know, it just is a natural instinct to just say, oh, I don't want to feel this anymore. So sometimes you do something outside of you to make yourself feel better.
You start to distract yourself.
Yeah. So for some people that could be food. You know, for more severe cases, it could be addictions to shopping, addictions to gambling, addictions to drinking, even food addictions, you know, having binge episodes of eating, because all of that will take you away from what's really going on inside, because it's too painful to actually look at it or embrace it. And so nothing is ever fixed. You're constantly avoiding those emotions and you're constantly suppressing them. And the more you suppress them, the more stuck energy you're going to have, and the more layers you're going to have, and the more miserable you're going to feel in life. And so if you want to feel great and you want to start that process, then one of the things to do is that when you feel the emotion, and begin to learn to embrace it. What I mean by that is, when you embrace it, you look at it and you accept that it's there. And you observe it as an observer, and you feel how it feels in your body and where it feels in your body. So sometimes when you feel anger, you might have or nervousness, you might have knots in your stomach. It won't be in your legs or arms, you'll feel it here. And sometimes people will feel it here. And then you can also focus on your breathing. How's my breathing like? Okay. Yeah, it's shallow, and I can feel it's a bit constricted over here. So all you're doing is you're observing. You're not casting any judgment on it. And as you continue to observe, what will happen, the phenomena is...
Yes, the phenomena is...
The emotion will say, I'm allowed to process in this body. This is so good. I no longer have to be squashed. I can just allow myself to be. So that emotion will just process inside your body, and it will leave.
Letting go. It's called the letting go technique. That's the second technique on how to release your irrational fears.
And it's amazing, because when you do it properly, you will feel the difference inside of you. You'll feel like something has been lifted off your shoulders. You'll feel lighter, you'll be able to breathe. It's almost like, the way I can describe it, the feeling is that it feels like there's pockets of air, bubbles of air inside your body, and suddenly energy and breath is moving much more freely. Yes, prana is much moving freely through your body, and it's like another analogy is that, imagine you've been carrying this heavy rucksack around with you for years, and suddenly somebody says, let me take that off you, and they take it off you, and all of a sudden
that's a whole load off.
Yeah, you feel lighter in your, you feel lighter on your shoulders, and suddenly you can move easily, and you feel like you're floating a little bit because you're not weighted down. And that's how you feel. So
more energy and less matter.
Yeah, so you actually feel a physical change in your body, because energy carries this physical mass.
Right.
So when it leaves your body, there's like a physical mass that's left your body.
Physical mass has left your body.
So as well as the EFT technique, which helps to blast out past trapped emotions, what you can do in the present day is also, when you have an emotion, allow yourself to feel it, embrace it, accept it, non-judgmental, observe it, and allow it to process so that it actually leaves your body. And that way you're no longer suppressing yet another emotion inside your body.
Exactly.
And so what you're doing with EFT is you're peeling, it's like an onion, and you want to get to the core, which is your true divine self. You're just peeling back the layers of the onion. You're freeing yourself up.
Up.
It's liberation. It's living a life of true joy and liberation, and you get closer to that. And so that when you live every single day of your life, you get less and less triggered and reactive towards things that are unpleasant outside of you.
And that's how you can see and view the world as one universal play of consciousness, and have this inner laugh, this cheerful disposition, and this level of amusement wherever you go.
You are activating Sukha, your inner joy.
I hope that video was of great value to you guys. We would greatly appreciate it if you can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we will see you on the next video. Bye for now.